Welcome to 2024's Guide to Penetration Testing. In this series of videos, you will learn the fundamentals of computer hacking with hands-on practice exercises, even if you have zero computer knowledge. Please note that not every single thing will be covered, as this is just an introduction. However, by the end of this course, you will be able to successfully hack intentionally vulnerable machines on low difficulty from platforms such as VulnHub or HackTheBox, which are training platforms to improve your skills as a penetration tester. Once you reach that level, you should be able to enhance your competencies on your own through practice and research. Before we begin, a quick disclaimer, because I believe there are a few things that should be addressed. This tutorial will be released periodically every week. This will allow me to produce content and also benefit from potential criticism that users like you could provide. When this tutorial is finished, I will upload everything in one single video, and I will also take the opportunity to improve the whole course if the need arises. Also, you might read the title of the video and think, wait a minute, the Cyber Mentor already did that. And you will be right. The Cyber Mentor has helped me get started in the world of penetration testing, and I can only recommend you to watch his videos. However, I am making this course for multiple reasons. One of them is to get into the habit of producing videos. Sure, we are speaking about the same things, so there definitely is going to be a lot of similarities sometimes. But I am doing my best to create original content with my own style of narration. Lastly, please do not hesitate to provide feedback. If pouring hours into improving this course means that at least one person gets into the field, I will be very happy. As I will be your guide throughout the whole course, I think that starting off by introducing myself is necessary. I am Joshua Lange, also known by the handle Hacknut. I have over 5 years of experience in the information security field at various levels, from being an analyst to being a manager. Currently, I have the opportunity to do penetration testing, among other things. Before developing an interest in cybersecurity, I was previously fond of programming and other related subjects such as code auditing, best practices, and optimization. Unfortunately, I quickly realized that working as a programmer will not automatically mean that I will be able to write good code. In fact, I have heard many horror stories that will scare anyone if they knew how certain things function under the hood, including things related to banking. One day, I had the opportunity to follow a cybersecurity bootcamp, and my thinking was, if I cannot write secure programs, I will audit them. And now here I am. The scope has largely expanded. It's not just about software anymore, and I can tell you that the cybersecurity field is huge in depth when it comes to learning. Most importantly, anyone can learn this. Current penetration testers come from all walks of life. I have even personally witnessed people coming from the cinema industry with zero knowledge about computers becoming cybersecurity experts. The only differences between you and a pen tester are the time and effort spent to understand the different concepts and apply them. I am honored to help you get started on your journey. When we talk about penetration testing, what we mean is ethical hacking. The difference between the two is that penetration testing is just the action of hacking into a computer, which is in itself illegal. You should never, under any circumstances, hack into a computer or network that you do not own unless you have written permission. This is very important. Even when you become a professional penetration tester, you should always ask yourself if you are authorized to do what you are going to do. You are responsible for ensuring that the scope and target are clear for both parties. Otherwise, the company that hired you might turn against you and accuse you of unlawfully breaking into a part of the system that they never authorized you to access. Now that this is out of the way, let's dive into what it means to perform a penetration test. Aside from the legal aspects, there is also a preparation stage. In this stage, you and the client clarify what needs to be done. You discuss who should be contacted if something goes wrong, among many other things. This is the final contract, and as a penetration tester, you need to make sure to follow it exactly and provide a service according to what the contract says. After the contract, we have a kick-off meeting with the client to finalize everything and ensure that everyone agrees with the final plan. Then, the bulk of the pentest revolves around performing an assessment, writing a report, and finally debriefing what happened and discussing remediations, or in simple terms, how to improve security. And you might say, great, but what is an assessment? Well, an assessment could mean different things depending on what the client asks. Let me walk you through different types of assessments. Bear in mind that this is just an exhaustive list and that many other assessment types exist. The first type is an external assessment, where you, as a penetration tester, are testing the security of the company from the outside of its network. You are basically acting as if you were a random malicious actor trying to illegally hack into the company. External assessments require to do a lot of information gathering about the company. Have they been a victim to a security breach recently? What do their email addresses look like? What technologies are they using? In essence, we are trying to collect a maximum of information in order to find out what we can use against them. Because if we can breach into their network simply through searches online, so can anyone with an internet connection. This type of information gathering is also known as OSINT, which stands for Open Source Intelligence. It is the methodology of collecting and analyzing data that is publicly available in order to map out potential weaknesses. This type of methodology is used in many contexts, as well as in the military. Another type of assessment is the internal network pentest. In this one, you are already inside the target network and you play the role of either a hacker who already breached into the network or as a rogue employee. Since you are already within the network, the bulk of your work will most likely be about attacking Active Directory. If you do not know what Active Directory is, we will cover this in later videos. For now, you just have to know that it is heavily used by most companies, which makes it a very important subject to master. Sometimes the client might just want you to assess the security of their web applications. So logically, all your methodology is going to be about web security. For this type of assessment, you are going to use frameworks such as the OWASP Top 10, which is the 10 most common web vulnerabilities found in assessments. This makes it a great checklist for potential weaknesses to look for. One can also assess the security of wireless communications. Wireless connectivity is less secure than wired networks since the signals get transmitted through the air and can potentially be intercepted by any individuals with bad intentions. It is therefore very important that any wireless network should be thoroughly tested. Last but not least, there are two very specific types of pentest that you might not have even considered yet. I'm talking about physical penetration testing and social engineering. In physical pentesting, you are trying to physically break into a building, but the way you should break into it is up to the client. The client might want you to test how easy it will be to simply clone a badge and enter the building without anyone noticing, or if anyone could access a critical space, such as a server room, by lockpicking it. In social engineering, the main focus is the humans involved. The client may have the best network security you have ever seen. If their employees are not trained against social engineering, all it could take is a 5-minute call with one of them, claiming to be a tech support guy, needing access to their credentials to fix some issues. Sometimes getting your foot in the door might be as simple as that. And this is why cybersecurity is a holistic endeavor. No matter how hard you try to secure one aspect, your overall security is only as good as your weakest link. We should look at information security as nothing less than several layers of abstractions, where a weak lower level layer is compromising all layers on top. Alright, once you have done your assessment and taken good notes about everything you saw and audited, you now have to write a report. You have to keep in mind that the report will be read not only by technical people but also by executives. so the report needs to be both technical but also easy to understand for people who may not be tech savvy. The report should include your findings and the remediation you propose and how to apply them. And then there's the debrief. In a debrief, you are in a meeting with either technical or non-technical people, sometimes both of them. And the goal of the debrief is simply to work through the report and give an opportunity for the client to ask questions or discuss specific matters before publishing the final report. To conclude, the end goal of a penetration test is not only to improve the client's overall cyber posture, but also to improve the ethical hacker skills in order to provide an even better service next time. As cybersecurity professionals, we are in it for the long haul. Until we invent a completely fail-safe system, it's always going to be a cat and mouse game between those who actively improve security and those with malicious intent. However, our advantage is the possibility of making security mechanisms more complex and making everything saner by default.